What's up, everybody? Today, doing something different. I'm going to be showing my predictions for this upcoming NBA season, which starts tonight at 8 p.m. So I know this is a sneaker channel, but most sneakerheads are also NBA fans, so I thought you guys would like this, so let's get to it. So, at the 15th spot, I have the Hawks for the East and the Kings for the West. Now, the Hawks. Some of y'all are probably like, oh, they got 5th last year. Why are they so low? I don't know if you guys noticed, but they lost everybody on their team and didn't regain anybody. They're in complete rebuilding process. They have nobody. They're going to be the worst team in the league. So that's that. And the Kings, they're the worst team in the West, but I still think they're better than the Hawks, Nets, and Magic. Just the West is a really tough conference, and they just don't have anybody. And at the 14th spot, I have the Nets for the East and the Mavericks for the West. The Nets are going to be trash just like last year. They'll be better than the Hawks, maybe by a little bit. That's it. And the Mavericks, I mean, they're a cool team. They got Nowitzki, but he's like 40 years old. He's going to retire. His days are numbered. And at the 13th spot, I got the Magic for the East and the Grizzlies for the West. The Magic, I don't need to say too much about. They haven't gotten any better. They were in the 13th spot last year. They'll stay there. They're horrible. The Grizzlies? No, some of y'all, yeah, like, they made the playoffs last year. Are they still low? It's just because all these teams above them in the West, they're making super teams, they're upgrading. They did the opposite. They still have Gasol and Conley, but the rest of their team is bench players. They don't even have any other starters, to be honest. So I don't think they're going to be able to beat out these other teams. In the 12th spot, I have the Bulls for the East and the Lakers for the West. The Bulls, they lost all their players. They lost Wade, they lost Butler. They're just not going to be good. And the Lakers, see, a lot of people are like, oh, they have Lonzo Ball, they're going to make the playoffs. No, they're not. Lonzo's a rookie. No one is ever as... No, they need to develop the rookie year. And Brook Lopez is just not going to do much. They'll be better than they were last year. Now, at the 11th, I have Pacers for the East and Trailblazers for the West. And just like the trend at the bottom of the East side has been for me, Pacers, they just lost Paul George. Miles Turner's a good center, but he won't carry them to the playoffs. And for the Trailblazers, it's like the Grizzlies. They have McCollum and Damian Lillard. The rest of their team is bench players. That simple. The 10th spot, I have the Pistons and the Suns. Now, with the Pistons, they got Avery Bradley. I just think they're going to underperform, stay in the same spot, 10th spot. I just don't think they're going to be any better than that. And the Suns, now some of y'all are like, oh, they got last. Well, as stupid as it sounds, they're going to be higher up because they kept the same team. Now, hear me out. All their team last year was younger players. The thing is, younger players have more potential. They get better year by year than older players. So their team is going to grow a lot. And they have Josh Jackson as a rookie to put under their wing. And they have some older players like Tyson Chandler to help teach the better players in the team. So I think they'll get a little bit better. We'll make the playoffs. Now at the 9th spot, we have the Hornets for the East and the Jazz for the West. The Hornets, they're a good team. They have Kemba Walker. They're just going to miss the playoffs. Now the Jazz, probably most of y'all would think they're lower just because of they lost Gordon Hayward. But Rudy Gobert, man, that man can play. And they have Ricky Rubio. So I think they'll be decent enough to have a shot at the playoffs. I think they'll just miss it. But at the 8th spot for the East and West, we have the Knicks and then the Pelicans. Now the Knicks, most of you are probably shocked because they lost Carmelo. I think they're better off. Carmelo is a really selfish player, and he's just not that good anymore. He's not good enough to be a selfish player. So I think Porzingis will thrive and become who he is and lead the Knicks to barely make the playoffs, but not much more. Now the Pelicans, most of y'all might have them higher, but Cousins and Davis are both good players. That's why they're going to make the playoffs. They're both bigs. They don't work together that well. I just don't think they're going to make much of it. Now, the 7th spot for the East, I have the Sixers, and 7th for the West, I have the Nuggets. Now, the Sixers, they're going to make a big jump. Because most of y'all probably think they're going to be lower, but Embiid was hurt for most of last year. Ben Simmons was hurt for all of last year. Both of them are back, plus Markelle Fultz. And Dario Saric is going to be playing good. This is a young team that's going to get really good. They'll make the playoffs. And they'll stay in the 7th spot, though. Now, the Nuggets is a team that's slowly getting better. Nikola Jokic is a good player. And they acquired Paul Millsap. Gary Harris, he's good. They got a lot of good players. They'll make the playoffs. Be better than they have been in the past. At the 6th spot, I have the Raptors for the East and the Clippers for the West. Both of them are probably going to be controversial. The Raptors were in the 3rd spot. Their team hasn't changed that much. I just think the 3 teams I have going ahead of them compared to last year are I think they're just going to play better. It's that simple. I just have a feeling the Raptors are just going to underperform a little bit, and just make it at the 6th spot. That's just me, though. Now, the Clippers, they lost Chris Paul. Their season's doomed. What you're not thinking about is in the trade for Chris Paul, they got like 5 or 6 players. That's a lot of depth. And Blake Griffin's healthy again. And they got Danilo Gallinari. They are stacked depth-wise. DeAndre Jordan now has a Blake Griffin by his side. Plus Danilo Gallinari. I cannot talk today. And they got Lou Williams in that trade with the Rockets. They still have Austin Rivers, who's only getting better. Patrick Beverley. So this is actually a really good team, in my opinion. Getting the 6th spot in the West is a lot. That's what I think is going to happen. Barring any injuries, that's where the Clippers will end up. And the 5th spot for the East, I have the Heat, and for the West, I have the Spurs. Again, both are probably pretty controversial. The Heat, I have playing a lot better. I think Whiteside and Dragic are making a very good connection. And Dion Waiters has been very clutch lately. I think this is going to be a really good team. They're going to make it to the 5th spot, go out in the 1st round to who I have as the 4. But I think they're going to be way better. They're going to make the playoffs finally. Now, it's Spurs. Yeah, I know what you guys are thinking. I'm crazy. But look at the 4 teams ahead of them. Rockets are obviously Warriors. Cut the BS. They're obviously number 1. But the Rockets, Timberwolves, and Thunder did so much to get better. Or the Spurs, they just stayed the same. Most of their players are older, who are only getting worse, like Parker and Ginobili. Aldridge, who is their only, quote, star, I guess, all-star player on the team that's not Kawhi Leonard. But Aldridge doesn't want to play there anymore. They didn't trade him. He wanted to be traded. So Kawhi Leonard is going to have to carry the team to this spot. They'll still make it there. Don't get me wrong. And they still have some other good players. They're just not going to be as good as they were. Just saying. Now, at the 4th spot for the East, I have the Bucks. And for the West, I have the Thunder. Now, this one, the Bucks, is going to be a really good team. They kept their players. Antetokounmpo's going to go off. Jabari Parker's going to go off. Chris Middleton's going to go off. They had Rookie of the Year, Malcolm Brogdon. They're going to do good, make it to the 4th spot, and we'll see what happens from there. And on the West, I have the Thunder. Originally, I was to have the Thunder at 3, maybe even 2, until they traded for Anthony. Again, like the Knicks, Anthony is a nuisance. And especially now when they have Westbrook and George, who are clearly better players. Anthony's a selfish player. He's going to take away from their playing time. I guarantee it. And it's only going to hurt them. But then again, a team with Westbrook and George, they're going to make it to the 4th spot. And the 3rd spot for the East side, the Wizards, and the West side, the Wolves. The Wizards, they're a good team. Wall Bradley, not much to say. About the same as they were last year, just a spot up. The Wolves, they've made moves, man. Towns is only getting better. Wiggins is getting a lot better. Now they have Butler. They didn't really lose much. And they got Jeff Teague. This is going to be one good team. I guarantee it. They're going to make it high up there. Now, at the number 2 spot, the Celtics for the East and the Rockets for the West. Now, the Celtics, I think, would have honestly been better off keeping Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder. Because Isaiah Thomas has chemistry with them. And Kyrie's better than Isaiah Thomas, but not that much. And Jay Crowder was a big asset. So I don't think that was honestly the best move for them. The Cavs got more out of it than the Celtics. That's my opinion. I would have flipped the Cavs and Celtics if it hadn't been for that trade, to be honest. And I got the Rockets for the West. James Harden and Chris Paul already seem to have a good connection. They haven't even started the season yet. And they got players like Eric Gordon and Clint Capella that can play. So I just think chemistry-wise, this team kills it. Depth-wise, they kill it. They have stars. They're going to give the Warriors a run for their money. Just saying. At the 1 spot, pretty predictable, Cavs and Warriors. The Warriors are going to win again until the players get old or leave. The Warriors are going to stay win the championship. So, the Cavs, they're going to be good. I think when Isaiah Thomas is healthy, they're going to play better than they were last year. Now that they have Wade, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Love, now they have Derrick Rose. This is going to be one stacked team. So, yeah, that's all I got to say for you. This is what I think the NBA season is going to turn out to be. And, yeah, tell me what you guys think. Comment and subscribe for more stuff. Peace.